Good evening, guys. I'm Ryan here with Indiana Weather Network. We're live because we are in severe ops here in the state of Indiana. We have one warning that has just been issued for the, excuse me, the central and eastern part of Elkhart County and the very far western part of LaGrange County. This warning has just been issued by the Northern Indiana Weather Service office, and the hazard with this particular storm is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. There is no hail expected with this storm. Anything that's hail should be pea size or lower. So overall, not really concerned for that. However, watching this storm here over the course of the past couple of minutes, it did try to develop just a little bit of a tiny hook here. We're going to watch that closely. I don't think it's going to, rotate, much at all, but in the event that it does, we're going to watch it very closely here. It did try for a few scans, but overall, this little dot here of brighter greens and kind of like a whitish blue color, that's your heavier winds here directly over Midway, tracking pretty much due east here. It's going to miss Goshen just to the north here. So if you're in Goshen, I'm going to probably guess you guys are probably dealing with some gusty winds, but the worst of it is just off to your north here, tracking right along or just to the north of Highway 33 here, currently crossing County Road 21, about to cross State Route 15 here, moving due east with a little bit northern movement toward it. So Middlebury, Shipshewana, as well as Honeyville, you guys are going to be on deck here for this. For these gusty winds here. This storm has actually been kind of cranking the past couple of scans here, kind of tracking this backwards. I mean, it's ever since South Bend, really. It's been what I like to call a beefy boy. It's moving pretty much due east toward Middlebury, Shipshewana, and eventually Honeyville here. So we're going to keep it right here, and we're going to track this as it does so until it no longer looks concerning. So yes, this is going to be a severe warning in effect for Elkhart and the western part of LaGrange County. This warning is in effect for 20 minutes, so it expires at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Pop out the chat here. We're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So welcome in, everybody. We're going to pop open handy dandy comments and take a peek at you guys, what you're talking about. We'll talk about other areas in Indiana in just a second. The severe threat is pretty much low across the western half of the state. Not really seeing too much in the way to be concerned about besides what's on your screen currently. Okay. So we're going to back this up here. We're going to take a peek outside of the severe warning. We have a line that's kind of developed anywhere from about South Bend, Napanee, Plymouth, down here toward Monticello. This is not severe, but there is a statement down here in the Monticello area for wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Now remember, if you need severe, if you want severe, it has to be 58 miles per hour or greater. And we're only seeing 40 further south here. So no concern there. Going even further south here toward Indy and point southward, there's really nothing on radar. Vincennes, Terre Haute, Evansville, you guys are clear. There is some scattered showers, perhaps a storm out there in central Illinois. Not our concern right now. There is also a storm here pushing up toward Fowler. Going to watch that. Overall, not really concerned about that. Statement is for penny-size hail and 50-mile-per-hour winds, so not really a concern. Just basically this line is all we're going to watch tonight. In particular, this warning up here toward the Michigan state line in the Goshen area. We're going to track this very closely here. And again, we're seeing a little bit of a miniature hook here on radar that could signify just a tiny bit of rotation. Now, there's not a lot of wind shear or spin out there tonight. So personally, I don't think it's going to do anything tornadic. Not really expecting that. But it is interesting how it's got a classic little hook here. And it's definitely trying to do something, but it just doesn't have the oomph to do it. Watching from Terre Haute, Goshen. What's up, guys? Welcome in, everybody. Steuben County. Just got nailed in Elkhart. Clear now. Derek, what do you mean by nailed? Is that wind? Is that hail? Let us know what you mean by that. So again, kind of recapping there if you're just joining us. Severe warning was just issued for the counties of Elkhart as well as LaGrange County. To be exact, we're looking at the central and eastern part of Elkhart County. And for LaGrange, we're looking at far western LaGrange. We're going to be live here for as long as this storm looks concerning or until the warning drops off, whichever comes first. Taking a peek back here at the wind velocity, you're going to track this down to the road level here. And going back to the latest scan, does look like it's weakening just a tad bit here. Taking out our inspector tool, we're getting winds upwards of right around 50 or so miles per hour just to the north of Goshen. It did look more impressive back here in Midway. So if you have friends or if you yourself watched from the Midway area, looks like they took the brunt of perhaps some gusty, if not severe winds here. Radar indicating 55, or so miles per hour impacted the Midway area. That has since weakened and continued its eastward trek here throughout eastern Elkhart County. Thank you, Derek, for that. And now zooming out here, there's a little bit of a gust front. I'll go ahead and highlight here on radar. It kind of expands down here toward Napanee, Argos, Rochester area. This is perhaps some gustier winds. Should not be severe further south. That's pushing to the eastward here toward the Warsaw, North Webster, North Manchester area. Eventually, I'd expect 30 mile per hour winds or so, maybe 40 at highest there as of the current radar indications. The only concerning storm currently on radar in the entire state is up here toward the Michigan state line in Elkhart County. Yeah, Annie or Amy. Sorry, I thought you said. I'm tired. Amy, there's been a threat for severe in the state for the past 4 days, and we've only had like one or two. I think this is our third warning throughout that 4-day period. So on the good side of things, it's been pretty quiet when it could have been pretty active here the past couple of days. So yes, there was a threat today. It is still a threat there for the western part of the state. I believe the storm up here is actually outside of that threat, if I'm not mistaken. I'll go ahead and overlay that severe threat today. There we go. So this dark green shaded area on the west half of Indiana, that is your severe risk per the SPC today. So it's a very small sliver there, the western half. And that was really because this line up here in northern Indiana was expected to be a bit more widespread than what it has been. So really, after this line gets out of the way, we should be good for the night. But just kind of goes to show you that these SPC outlooks and, our outlooks ourselves, they're not always completely 100% accurate. These storms like to do their own thing, and sometimes they go outside the designated lines. That's completely normal. So zooming back in here, taking a peek at this, continuing to see a gusty wind threat heading toward the Middlebury area. Flipping that on the screen. The brighter greens are the brighter winds. The darker greens are lighter winds. So the heaviest wind currently from about Highway 20 here down to about the Goshen area. It's going to impact very close, if not just south of the town of Middlebury here in the next 5 or 10 minutes. How do you think Howe is looking? For right now, you're okay. You got about an hour or so, maybe we'll say, what's this moving at? About 35. We're going to say about 45 minutes between now and the storm impacting you here in Howe. In fact, we can kind of track this if I'm not mistaken. Let me turn this on here for you. Let's get a track on this. We'll go 40 just to be safe. Looking at Middlebury in 3 minutes, Honeyville in 10 minutes, Shipshewana 11 minutes, LaGrange 22 minutes. So how I would put you in that same time frame, probably close to about 25 minutes or so for impact time for you. Ontario in 26 minutes and Plato in about 29 minutes. Estimated population or so is right around 10,000 people. And this warning goes until 8:30, so 14 more minutes. And again, the hazard with this warning is 60 mile per hour winds. There is no tornado tag or hail tag with this particular storm. New statement coming in down here for the storm near Argos, heading toward Bourbon and Tippecanoe. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. We just talked about this gust front here that kind of extends down from about the Elkhart area down through Napanee, Plymouth. That is likely what they're putting a statement on that for. And we actually a little bit of a pocket there of gustier winds developing 46 miles per hour on radar here. So that's a precautionary measure more than likely. So do expect wind gusts 30 or 40 miles per hour all along this line here from about that Elkhart area down through about Logansport and points eastward. This line is going to continue to push its way eastward. And would not be shocked if we have one or two more warnings for this particular area just because there's enough instability out there to support some gustier winds here, as we're kind of seeing up here in the Middlebury area. And this has definitely weakened out since past couple of scans here. So do take note. We had a bright area here of that whitish bright green color. That means the winds are heavier. In the past couple of scans, you can kind of see it spread out and also weaken in nature. So this is gusting out, and that's good news. I would not be shocked if they were to drop this warning. And if they do that, we'll pop back on out of here. But for right now, do expect gustier winds here. We have a little bit of a bow echo, which is a little bit of a gusty signature here, a little bit of a bow and arrow type of situation. They continued the warning. They trimmed it back here. If you saw that box just get shortened back, they trimmed it, continued it for 60 mile per hour winds, no hail, and no tornado tag on it. So they're likely going to continue it until 8:30 and perhaps expire that if it doesn't re-intensify. See a lot of questions. Josie, I can't talk tonight. For those of you just tuning in, we have a line that extends from about the Michigan border down here to about the Napanee, Plymouth, Argos area, down here toward Logansport. This line is strong in nature, but it is not currently severe, except in this one spot up here, moving into LaGrange County very shortly. Further south, there is nothing, nada on radar. Indianapolis and south, you guys are all clear for now. We can overlay the future model here as well to give you guys an idea what to expect tonight. Here's current model indication. We're going to go through the evening here. Here's 8 p.m. current time. Here's 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Here is midnight tonight. Could see a shower or storm push toward the south and west part of the state there. This is at 2 a.m., mind you. So this is going to be a bit later tonight. So not currently, but later on overnight. Don't be shocked if you hear rumble of thunder. Maybe a stronger storm in there as well down there toward the Vincennes, Evansville area. Wouldn't be shocked. Overall severe risk will be lower in nature, but don't be shocked if you have an isolated boomer overnight the further south you go. For right now, though, all clear south of Indianapolis. You guys are free to relax. But further north here, north of Logansport, you guys have a line moving through here with some gusty winds. Currently does not look to be severe in nature, but again, would not be shocked if we have another warning here. This one went warned up here just to the west of Goshen, and that's currently gusted out. Looks a little bit weaker now. But going further south here, just south of Bourbon, there's a little bit of intensification going on with this cell here as well. So if that continues, would not be shocked to see this get a warning eventually if that continues to strengthen in nature. And yes, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Feel free to watch on your platform of choice. We always urge people to go watch on YouTube. It's a better platform. So if you're not subscribed, feel free to go subscribe on YouTube. All of our severe streams and also briefings we do will be live on YouTube as well. Any questions in chat? Feel free to drop those while we have a minute here to talk. 8:20 in Bristol, loud thunder and lightning. Thank you, Linda, for that report. How does Kokomo look? All clear. All clear for now. If you look to the west, you may see a darker cloud mass moving through. Wouldn't be shocked if we have a shower pop up here. Looks like a boundary of some sort trying to develop here for right now, you're all clear. Nothing concerning. Don't be shocked next 30 minutes to an hour or so if you have a shower moving through the area. Terre Haute, you're all clear for now. Later tonight, past midnight, showers and storms are possible for you. Shouldn't be severe in nature. Don't be shocked, though, if you have an isolated, stronger storm, though. Going back up here, we are now pushing into LaGrange County. Taking a peek on velocity. And again, that doesn't look to be concerning. About 30 or so miles per hour, 40 at most, just south of Middlebury. So some gusty winds for sure, but comparing it to back here a couple scans ago, was definitely a lot stronger back here in the Midway and Goshen areas. So good news here. They're likely going to expire this warning, if I had to guess, at 8:30. And if they do that, we'll pop out here as long as this storm down here doesn't look severe, which it may. Definitely a downburst going on there. So a downburst is when there's a lot of heavy rain. It hits the ground with a lot of force. It spreads outward. We're seeing a good signature here of gusty winds just south of Bourbon. You have a little bit of an off color here, and you got a brighter color there. Very typical of these downbursts. You have winds going this way and winds going this way, spreading outwards. So don't be shocked here in the Etna Green, Bourbon, and Tippecanoe areas of some gustier winds happening there. And there's a statement in effect there for 40 mile per hour wind gusts. And then don't be shocked if that continues to intensify. Next couple of scans here. What's up, Jeffrey from Jasper? Good to see you in here. Was there a potential tornado near Elkhart? I saw a CC drop. No, likely not. I'll look at it though. The way the radar presented itself there for a brief minute, there was a hook on radar. There's also a ball where no rain was falling. That's likely what caused that CC. Probably right about there. So probably going to be a little bit of a ball in there, but it's not going to line up. I bet you. Back this up here. Yeah, that's clear air. That's not a debris ball. So no, all clear there. How does Winchester look tonight? Winchester looks okay. You're way further east than expected, or way further east than these current storms are pushing. You could see a rumble of thunder probably close to 4 or 5 a.m. But yeah, overall, not really concerned for you over there, especially on the east side of the state. That goes from like Muncie, Cordon, for the evening, you guys are all clear. But again, later tonight, some storms are going to push through. Could be on the stronger side, but overall, severe chances are quite low. No problem, Jessica. You're going to see a lot more live streams coming here from IWN. We'll go live for any and all tornado warnings, and then severe warnings as needed. If we look at it and go, okay, this could actually be doing some damage, we'll pop on there and go live. If you look at a storm and go, that's not overly concerning, we're going to make a post about it, but we won't go live. So we'll take it case by case, but we're going to be live a lot more on here. This warning is set to expire in about 4 minutes. Going further south here, that downburst signature continues. Actually, latest scan weakens it just a bit. But still, you got these winds in green going toward the radar. And the off color is kind of moving away from the radar here. So this is what we call a downburst. Gusty winds definitely occurring in the Bourbon area, Etna Green, Tippecanoe. If you're from the area watching, let us know what you're seeing. If you can do so safely, of course. And we also have a group that is dedicated to storm reports. It's called Indiana Storm Reports. It is a group on Facebook. Feel free to pop in that group, join it. And if you ever have storm reports, pictures, videos, feel free to drop it in that group. It is a new group we made, so feel free to utilize it. It is directly for you guys to use, not us. So feel free to use it at will. If this warning expires, we'll probably pop out of here. But yeah, overall, this line will continue to push eastward here. So places like LaGrange, Angola, Kendallville, Fort Wayne, Huntington areas, I'd expect there to be a chance for a shower and storm, perhaps some gusty winds pushing your way throughout the evening. Keep a close eye on the radar if you're out and about. I would expect there to be a minimal chance for any more severe, but wouldn't rule it out completely, if that makes sense, just because we have a little bit of juice out there for these storms to kind of fuel off of. But you can kind of see the gust front as well. They'll produce gusty winds, severe or not, about 30 to 40 miles per hour. But right now, I can't really say, even the storm up here that was warned, I can't say it looks severe anymore. It turned in from like a nice little ball of velocity there over Midway to now just, nothing. So this warning will expire in 2 minutes. And once that does, we'll pop out of here and keep an eye on things behind the scenes. So yeah, like I said, Northeast Indiana here from about Logansport, US 24 North especially have a chance for a shower or storm. Got some pop-ups back here toward Lafayette going up now as well. Keep an eye on those. But overall, not really seeing too much to be concerned about with these as of this time. While we're about to pop out of here, I will go ahead and flip on the future radar for those of you just tuning in who might have missed it before. Later tonight, we're going to go through the time frames here and kind of show you guys where could see storms and when. So currently, as of 8 p.m., got some storms pushing through the north half of the state. Those should weaken between now and 10 p.m. Just some showers around 10 p.m. Pay attention, though, further south and west here in Illinois. A line of storms pushes into the state here at 1 a.m. Here's 2 a.m. There is 3 a.m., a renewed round and chance of rain, storms, and perhaps a stronger wind gust or two down here toward Vincennes, Evansville area. That'll push across the state here. Again, this is 3 in the morning tonight. Here's 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., just some showers over there for the east side, weakens out completely. And by about sunrise, we should be saying goodbye to the rain, just as we said goodbye to the severe warning up in LaGrange County. That is our cue to get off. If we have to go back live, we will. Hopefully we don't. But in the event we do, I'll catch you guys later. You guys stay safe. I'll see you guys next time.